Hello, I'm Chief Winslow, and joining me today is Kim Holmeyer from the City of Springfield's HR Department. We are here to discuss the Springfield, Illinois Police Department's upcoming entry test. We'll highlight the application process, minimum qualifications, and the multiple steps of the process. We'll also answer some commonly asked questions. I was in your shoes 26 years ago, wanting and desiring a position in law enforcement, but not exactly sure how to go about obtaining a position or starting my career. I just knew I had to take a test. I heard the rumors and the myths that you had to know someone to get hired. Well, I'm proof that is not true, as I knew no one and wasn't from this area. The goal of this video is to educate applicants on what we are looking for in a candidate and to demystify the process so everyone has an opportunity to do well. Upon conclusion of this video, everyone should have a better understanding on what the process is and what it takes to be successful. Usually we host in-person orientations, but due to COVID-19, that was not possible this year. Welcome and thank you for taking the time to watch this video.
Police officer is a civil service tested position. Human Resources, along with the Civil Service Commission, are the ones that oversees the process. Qualifications to apply: must be a U.S. citizen, between the age of 21 to 34 years. You can be 20 years of age with 2 years of law enforcement studies. There are other exemptions as well related to military. High school graduate, GED equivalent, ability to pass all phases of the testing process, no felonies or certain misdemeanors, vision uncorrected, minimum of 20/40, aided vision correction 20/20, color vision normal or mild red-green deficiency, a valid driver's license at time of hire, along with a valid FOI card within the first 12 months of hire. No visible tattoos on your head, neck, face, or hands. No inappropriate or offensive tattoos. Persons with visible tattoos must wear a department-approved body sleeve or long sleeve shirt. It is the policy of the Springfield Police Department to present a professional image and appearance to the citizens of Springfield while in the performance of our official duties. In order to maintain this professional image and appearance, restrictions will be placed on tattoos, body piercings, and body modifications. Application procedure. The first step is to complete the online application at www.springfield.il.us. Additional information can also be found on the city's website. The deadline to apply is September 9th at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time.
The first phase of the testing process is the physical agility test, or what is commonly referred to as the power test. The power test consists of 4 exercises to include a sit and reach.
And you're just going to push forward.
Those who commonly have problems with the sit and reach are those who are muscular in build, who do not stretch regularly. A 1-minute sit-up.
And the timer gives the time for sit-ups. She'll have 1 minute to do as many as she can.
Additionally, the number 1 exercise that people struggle with the most is the 1-minute sit-up. The sooner you start preparing for this test, the more successful you will be.
Down till at least your shoulder blades touch the mat. Shoulder sit-ups. Standard sit-ups.
A 1 repetition maximum bench press.
We'll go up 1.
Those who have a lack of upper body strength tend to struggle with the bench press. And a 1.5 mile run.
If you're a race run, a 1.5 mile run, we have a 1.5 mile.
The test is broken down by requirements via age and gender. The power test is mandatory and will be scored on a pass-fail basis. Candidates will take the exam on Friday, September 18th. More information to be coming. Only those who pass the power test will move on to the written exam scheduled for Saturday, September 19th. A power test video is on the Springfield Police Department's webpage for illustration purposes only.
The written exam consists of 3 components, including a cognitive ability component and 2 behavioral components. Candidates must obtain a passing score of 70% or greater to proceed to the oral assessment. A pass or fail result from the written exam will be emailed to candidates. Candidates will not receive a numeric score due to banding. You are given 2.5 hours to complete the exam. The 3 components are not timed separately. Cognitive dimensions. Some examples: deductive reasoning, the process of reasoning from one or more statements to reach a logically certain conclusion. Deductive is certain. Inductive reasoning, reasoning in which the premises seek to supply strong evidence for, not absolute proof of, the truth and conclusion. Inductive is probable. Information ordering measures your ability to apply rules to a situation for the purpose of putting the information in the best or most appropriate sequence. Problem sensitivity, the ability to tell when something is wrong or is likely to go wrong. Verbal comprehension, a person's capacity to understand the language utilized by other people. Verbal expression, the activity of communicating and conveying information. To give you examples of behavioral attributes, there's strong people skills, strong communication skills, both verbal and written, a sense of fairness in dealing with people and issues, a high degree of honesty, a willingness to seek input from others and build a consensus, open-minded, flexible, a well-controlled ego, self-confident, a good listener, able to be direct when needed without being abusive or offensive, a sincere interest in people and their well-being. Study material. For those who have submitted an application, you should have already received a study guide link. For those viewing the orientation online, please contact Human Resources at humanresources@springfield.il.us to request the link to the study guide. You can also call our office at 217-789-2446 to request it. We will email you the link, which will also include instructions. What is an oral assessment? This is a panel interview that is designed to assess the most critical job-related skills and abilities. Each candidate will be asked the same series of questions, ranging from hypothetical scenarios to specific questions about how you tend to deal with issues. Candidates will be assigned a number that will be referenced throughout the remainder of the testing phases. You will not use your name when being assessed. For example, we'll have candidate PE001, PE002, and so on. We will provide you with additional information on oral assessments once you receive your results from the written exam. Preference points. There's 2 types of preference points that are awarded to candidates that qualify. The first is residency, which is worth 5 points. In order to qualify for residency points, you must live in Capitol Township and provide 9 months of residency documentation from December 19th of 2019 to September 19th of 2020. Veterans points, those are worth 5 points as well. In order to qualify, you must have a minimum of 1 year of total active duty service. You must have an honorable or general under honorable conditions discharge to qualify. Schooling and basic training are usually included as active duty service. The only proof of active duty service that we accept is the DD-214, which would be the member 4 form, not the 1. If you have questions regarding either of these, you can email us at humanresources@springfield.il.us.
Do not be discouraged if you don't qualify for them. Off of the current list, 25% of all new hires did not qualify for any points. Only 2 qualified for both types of preference points.
Banding. The City of Springfield does banding. The easiest way to describe what that is it's comparable to being in school, where an individual can achieve an A, which is a certain range, a B, and so on. After a candidate completes both the written and the oral assessment, they will be weighted. The written will be weighted at 40%, the oral at 60%. Then the preference points if they're eligible for any, are added to the final score. Once that's done, the banding will determine how many people are comparable to each other, and the bands will be set. Scores within a band shall be considered equal until the chief's ranking interview. Candidates must be exhausted in the preceding band before moving on to the next band when hiring. How do you exhaust a band? If someone fails the background, psychological, medical, they are removed from the current process and they are not offered employment.
The chief's ranking interview. The chief and a panel of his designees will interview every candidate within a band, starting with Band 1. The panel will have your application to review. Applicants will be ranked based upon their performance in this interview. This is more of a business-style interview. This is your time to shine.
Civil Service Commission. This is a 7-member panel consisting of a chairman, vice chairman, and 5 commissioners. They're all appointed by the mayor's office. They review, approve, and/or deny all protests, certify eligibility lists, background investigations, psychological and medical examinations. When reviewing a background, psychological, and medical exam, the candidate's identifying factors such as race, gender, age, etc. is redacted, and the candidate's ID number is inserted in place of that. Background investigation required documents: a copy of your state-issued birth certificate, your high school diploma, GED, or college diploma. If you provide transcripts, they must be official transcripts in the sealed envelope from the school. You will complete a 45-page personal history questionnaire. Depending on the time frame, you are given a minimum of 5 days up to a maximum of 10 days to provide a completed personal history questionnaire and the documents. The length and time depends on the hiring time frame. It is important to return the questionnaire on time and completed. Incomplete and/or late questionnaires will be disqualified.
Background investigation. The Springfield Police Department conducts an in-depth and thorough background check into each applicant. This may consist of speaking to employers, families, and other personal references, a check of your criminal history, as well as a credit check and other checks. As I often tell people, we are not looking for perfect people, but we're looking for perfectly honest people. The number one disqualifier is the failure to disclose, as it appears that the applicant is trying to deceive the investigators.
Psychological evaluation. This phase is conducted after a conditional offer of employment is given. There are 2 parts to this phase: written and a one-on-one evaluation. They are done in Florissant, Missouri by Florissant Psychological Services Incorporated. Applicants must travel for at least one portion, if not both portions of this phase, and it can take 1 to 2 days to complete. Medical, agility, and drug screening. This is the final phase. A general system review takes into account past history and present disease, general body condition, and physique. You will also receive an Ishihara vision test, which is for color deficiencies, a drug test, and a functional capacity evaluation. Once that is completed, you receive an approval from the Civil Service Commission. The next step would be to offer employment as a Springfield Police Officer.
At this point in time, we would like to open it up to some commonly asked questions.
Do I have to be a resident of Springfield to apply, or is there a residency requirement if I'm hired?
No, not at this time. There is no residency requirement to apply for the Springfield Police Department. There also is no residency requirement for those who are hired at the current time. However, this has been discussed and negotiated in the past and continues to do so at this point in time.
Do I need a college degree to apply?
No, not this time. All that is required is a GED or a high school diploma.
Do I get preference points for having a degree?
No, you do not. However, it is a competitive process, and those with a degree or military backgrounds typically do well in the process due to the knowledge and experience they have obtained from attending college or being in the military.
Where do most people fall out of the process?
Most people fall out of the process in the physical agility phase or the background phase. Typically, when they have problems with the physical, it's because they did not prepare. As far as the background, it's those who do not disclose details in their background check is the reason they are removed.
Who makes the decisions on the background checks?
That would be the Civil Service Commission.
Can I appeal that decision?
No, not at this time.
Do I have to list an offense that has been expunged?
Yes, you do.
How does partaking in the use of recreational cannabis affect my opportunity to become a police officer?
The Springfield Police Department is a drug-free workplace and has a zero-tolerance approach to those who use cannabis or illegal drugs for employees. Past infractions, when drug use was illegal, will be considered as a broader background investigation by the Civil Service Commission.
So can visible tattoos be covered up on your hands, neck, or face?
No, at this point in time, the Springfield Police Department does not allow any tattoos on their hands, face, or neck.
What are you looking for in an applicant?
We are looking for those applicants who have a strong desire to serve our community, as well as those who have the ability to learn and the ability to use discretion, as well as de-escalate situations. There are many characteristics that we think makes a good police officer, including honesty, integrity, trustworthy, good work ethic, the ability to learn, etc.
As a follow-up to the visible tattoo question, can I still apply if I have a tattoo on my hand, face, or neck?
Yes, you may still apply. However, they would have to be removed before accepting employment.
What can I do to prepare for the oral assessment?
Learn as much as you can about our profession, the department, and our community. Speak to an officer who was recently hired. Be yourself. Give clear and concise answers. Utilize your time, as most don't. Articulate your answers and let them see your desire to serve. Have a parent or friend put you through a mock scenario. Videotape these scenarios and critique them. You can also research oral assessments online.
That was my question. Is there any way I can prepare myself for the written test, or is there anything online or out there that I can get to prepare?
As far as the written test, basically what you need to do there is that you need to be comfortable, get a good night's sleep, as well as make sure you finish the test. It's natural to be nervous, but you're competing against yourself. Additionally, there is a practice test that is offered online.
Why should I take the test since I don't have preference points?
Many applicants do not have preference points. In fact, very few have both residency and military points. As in the past, we have multiple openings, and typically there are people who are hired that have no preference points at all. So definitely take the test. The fact that you do not have residency points or military points will not preclude you from being hired.
When do you expect to hire from this list?
We are looking at a hiring next spring. I anticipate this to be a large hire, somewhere between 15 and 20 officers.
What does basic training consist of, and where's the location? And I know it's a lot of us that's thinking this, where do we stay, and do we get paid while we're attending?
The Basic Training Academy is 14 weeks of college and boot camp, followed by 3 additional weeks of training at our academy and a minimum of 20 weeks in our field training program. The academy is located in Decatur, Illinois, and you do have to stay there. It is a 24/7 academy. You do get out on Friday evenings, typically around 6 p.m., and usually have to return back Sunday afternoon. You do get paid while attending the academy, as well as your full benefits.
How long do I have to be on the department before I can apply for a specialty position?
Well, that varies depending on how long you've been on the department and which positions you can apply for. Typically, you have to have at least 3 years on the department to apply for any kind of specialty position. Some requirements are 5 years or more.
It's been a while since I worked out. What's some of the things I can do to prepare for the personal training?
Well, the first thing is to get started. Start immediately. Start working out and start doing the test. We often tell people that you may be in good shape, but if you're not doing the test and practicing the test, you may struggle with it. You may think that the bench press is nothing, that you can do it with no problem, but if you don't actually practice that test, then you won't know where you're at. So the sooner you get started, the sooner you start practicing, the better off you will be.
Is there a maximum age requirement to apply?
Yes, the maximum age is 34 unless you meet one of the exceptions. One of those exceptions is that you may be up to 44 years of age based on having 10 years of active military service and an honorable discharge.
What is the salary range for a starting patrol officer for the city of Springfield?
The base pay for a starting patrol officer is approximately $52,000 and goes up to $92,000 with 25 years of service. This does not include overtime or any other benefits.
What does your retirement package consist of?
An officer is eligible to retire at the age of 55 with at least 20 years of service on the department at 50%. The officer is eligible for an additional 2.5% for every year above 20 years to a maximum of 75%. The city also offers a deferred compensation plan, commonly referred to as a 457B, as well as retiree insurance plan at a cost to the employee upon retirement. Again, thank you for taking time to learn more about our department, and good luck in the process. If you have any additional questions, please email humanresources@springfield.il.us or feel free to call them at area code 217-789-2446. Thank you, and good luck in the process.